Also, we buy no, and the full cycle already way. Preach the film by no, I cannot cry you already way. Delphine by no, I try to sound already way. Your sister, oh, you ready go, how you way? So by no, you know, I don't go already way. No man, but I'm because I don't go already. Okay, we will take up the muscle can. Oh, how you way, how you way? You don't say, oh, okay, you're about to check it. There you are, there you are. I know, I'm a busy for already way. Wake up in the bed, I know, I'm already way. Then nobody here, my mind go my way. Get back here, get what is now, already way. Screaming down, get that now. No more going, I'm still forever, I'm ready now.
Good evening, good evening. Good evening, good evening. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Today is Sunday, and this is the Examiner. Welcome to the show. Okay, good evening, good evening. Today is Sunday. What a beautiful day right here. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. This is the Examiner. Right here, it comes your way every Sunday. Right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Time check is 7:10 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the show. Good evening, good evening. I'm Alfonso Zenso, right here broadcasting from the east coast of the ocean state of Rhode Island. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. If you are here in the USA, in Liberia, we say good morning, almost morning time there, but if you're here, we say good evening from the east coast. This is our continued conversation talking point, the Examiner. The Examiner comes on to every Sunday. It want to be a sporadic sort of conversation here where we'll be inviting people, which of course we usually, but these people, they want us to commit ourselves to something to tie our neck. And that is something I'm not prepared to do. And we will not do it because we want to be authentic. We are not here to the entertainment aspect in the media is okay, but it's going to be the least thing here because there are a lot of things to be discussed. Of course, the Examiner will also feature the Analysts of the Liberia Public Radio right here. If you are just joining, I would say good evening to Alice, the continuance from Des Moines, Iowa, to Benita Chia, to my man DJ Welcome Power. I hope the convention is going great in Des Moines. Good evening. Of course, Fatu is in the house, and of course, my prime time, Mrs. Esther Clark Fredericks is here. Alfred P. Gay, right here from the ocean state of Rhode Island. Venetia's mother. Venetia's Fatu, they are the followers and supporters of the liberal wing of this network, which is okay as well. Tadafos Hill is here. Tadafos, good evening. Hopefully, all of you, the Sunday is great. But as usual, we're here. This is the building that is serving as a center of gravity in what is going on in the country. It's ridiculous. It is absurd. I can't imagine what is happening, what is going on up to this point in time here. And I know people and myself on the class here this event, I don't care how they feel because we have to tell them these people in the habit of protecting their own alligators. All right? They are in the habit of protecting their own alligator. But one person who doesn't shy away, no matter how the going gets tough and the tough gets going, is the Mr. Jerry Bacon Boishin, JBB. He's our security analyst, and I intend to put him here this evening because of his background, vice background. I will see tonight whether the government of Liberia invested their resources, sending him abroad, learning everything. He was at a police academy. The days of those police, I don't talking about those one where you just send people to go put navy blue suit on there and give them face cap and go turn to patrolmen. What happening in the lately here? That's not what I'm talking about. He went through the process, the chain of command. He's an investigator. But I'm going to see this evening whether he will be like people like Adam Kessigot and Liz Cheney, who put the interests of the country first, then their party. Because our folks, they are so party-oriented. They believe in party than the interests of the country. An examiner is here not to hold back. If you know your pressure can go up high, do not appear on the examiner, because the examiner will intend to put finger in your esophagus. So those things that he's in your chest, or we can't do that as abdominal thrust or whatever, you will throw it out by force. But Jared Bacon Washington is brave enough to come on the examiners. The liberal say he cannot stand it. I'm not sure Sissy Goya going to come. The terror wants, that's okay. Fatu, you want to sit in for the liberal, you are most welcome. Send me your email and I will send the link right to you. Let's get the ball rolling right here on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Chaos in the first branch of government, Republic of Liberia. Welcome to the show. Okay, let's get a ball rolling here. No time to waste. Let me bring in Mr. Jared Bacon, is a security analyst and senior contributor to the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. He's based right here in the Ocean State, right within my proximity. But because of his political attachment now, he has cut off ties with me. He more or less is a good friend to the liberal, the guy who was way in California. But he forget to know if there's anything here, I would be the first to rush to go to a. When will you get a flight from here to go to Chicago or whatever and get another transit before? They're not broken. I'm just right within your proximity. But this time, you don't call my phone number, you don't do anything. The only place we meet right here, and that's how the bamboo gonna devour cola. Mr. Jared Bacon, good evening. Welcome on the Examiner.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for having me. Don't make a correction. You block my number. Each night I call you, I say, come, let's have something to eat. You're a friend because I'm a liberal, so for that reason you block my number. But that's all right. We can meet here and discuss our issues. So I'm all right. Whatever you want to do. But thanks to the radio listener, to our TV listener, with people around the globe. I mean, it's nice weather today in the state of Rhode Island. You know, the backyard was nice. I sat down to the backyard and I called you. I said, my man, can I drink a bit?
You did not call me. You called. You called.
That's all right.
You see, I told you, but you don't listen. And that's the same way with Terry, but you will learn the hard way. The liberal is a hypocrite. It's a deceitful guy. He professes to be a good friend, but he's not. After you place that call, he told me, he said, oh, guess what? And you say you and Jerry in the same state, and you're right in the same area, but he called me and said he having because it's a nice weather. So I get a recording. You want me to play it if you think I'm lying? I know.
Sure, go ahead. That's what we're going to do tonight. The evidence going to provide the evidence to the Liberian people. What happened behind you, that building. That building is. We'll talk about the building later. Let's go ahead and see.
We need to talk about your government, the government that you support. They are all in that building. Why would Joseph Boyka leaves the country?
Oh, no. That's not my government. That's a capital building. That's not the executive mansion. So don't get it straight. That's what
I'm saying.
I said the building that behind you.
I'm dishing out two things here simultaneously. We're talking about this building, this contaminated building, this building that is being so corrupt, is more corrupt than what we thought it was now. And we will talk about your building as well. That's the executive branch of government. But you have the right to speak and not to speak. But again, we're not going to hold back. Good evening. How is the Sunday so far?
That's
Capital, if
good.
you want to comment, I think the link is all out there. The media and you online radio. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Whatever you are, we said thank you for whatever you do for our country, for the people, for the good of our country. It is time that all the media, this is it. We are in a very defining moment, very consequential, crucial. So welcome, the legendary Amos George. Good evening. Good to have you here. So let me tell you, I am about, and the liberal can be ridiculous. I'm going to be ridiculous tonight more than the liberal because I'm going
See,
to
today,
make
Sunday, the
something.
Bible said, revenge not yourself. If you hunger, feed him. If you
By the
thirsty,
way, I
give him.
went to church. I went to church
Thank you.
today, and the
Thank
pastor
you. That's
told
what I
me
said.
that
I just want to remind you. I just want to remind you.
you don't need to remind me. What are you talking about? You think I'm a 7 days advantage? Oh, I don't go to church on Saturday. I went to church today. And the
Thank
pastor
you.
told me to be honest, not to, as a matter of fact, that's honesty. And he doesn't believe because government tries to control our lives, to try to regulate of these politicians, they are not in our interest. But look, Jared, this is weird. This is weird, very unusual, unprecedented. The actions by the first branch of government now, it justified the argument by the Americans that we are corrupt, that we are corrupt. And what I've come to realize, it's a sort of consistent pattern, and it seems to be growing every now and then. If you remember the days of Ellis Taylor, Isaac Yinambo, Edwin Mervyn Snow, it started from 5,000 to 10,000, now 15,000. Who knows in the next time around, they're going to be growing over and over. The main question here, what the hell this money coming from? Why GOL? Why the security apparatus who place call to the police, anti-corruption unit, the Ministry of Justice? Everybody seems to be tightly. What's going on? The Ministry of Justice does not need any pass from the government, from President Joseph Newman Boykai to investigate. The government is saying they are not aware. So this money in question, it doesn't fall from the sky. Someone authorized the payment. We need to know what that is. And you, with your expertise, I count on you. Do not be partisan here this evening. Do not put on any sort of political garment here to protect your party or your own interest group. This is much bigger than Liberia. Now I'm going to know this evening if the government of Liberia invested their resources to send you to training, come to America, you're doing everything. If you do anything here this evening, you will expose yourself. It's not on me, it's on you. My job is to have this conversation. Take it away.
Well, first of all, I need not to be threatened. I've come here as an independent individual. So look, what I
Why
have
you
is
stop being independent? Are you kidding me? You what you so why are you guys want to be you independent? Where Tom Keto are you? Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. When did that start? Which church you went to today?
I've been independent. I've been independent for the time I've been here. I deal with the issue as it
You
presents
are
to me.
why can't dependent? You are
Okay,
Washington.
but here's the thing. You asked me a
No,
question.
but
Let
on a
me,
serious note here, on a serious note, this is unbelievable. What has
no,
happened, what is
yeah,
going on?
yeah.
And you know what? We can't even rule the president out of it. Rule it because there's some sort of correlation here. And I will give you the time to respond because we saw that here when the contest for the speakership, the president invited people, money was rationed all over the place. We saw that, we see that here. So people emulate from the higher up. That's my opinion, that's my view. You can't sanction it, but let me hear you.
Well, the country that we model our government over is do the same thing here. I mean, they do some twisting hands, when it comes to speakership, when it comes to leadership, they do the same thing here. So there's no different. The only difference is that there's no cash pay. But here's the thing I want to say to the Liberian people to also listening to us this evening or tonight or in the morning. The building that behind you there is a toxic building. And it's a disgrace to our community, it's a disgrace to our country. For our legislature, knowing the full well, we are the founding member of the United Nations, we are the founding member of the League of Nations, we are the founding member of African Unity, and we're behaving like a child. It's unheard of. I was young then, doing toward administration, doing late Tubman administration, to that of Doe administration, to that of Chartered administration, was in Liberia, Early Johnson administration, was in Liberia. I never, ever, let somebody come on the show tonight. Those who are read, we got some historian, we have some people who study history, people who study security. Let them come tonight. I'm willing for us to have the dialogue. Where in our history, that's what transpired. People go on national TV, cursing mother curse. Let me put it that way. I wanted to use profanity, but let me bring it down. Cursing mother curse. Representative do such a heinous act in our country. I mean, it's unspeakable. There's no other way to describe it. It's a criminal act. The Minister of Justice need to open an investigation. Okay, the anti-corruption need to open
That's
an
what I
investigation.
want to hear. Look, they are, how you call it, son of money qualified taking train from Rhode Island to New Jersey, going to Washington,
No, but
D.C.
see, I want to lay the foundation. You see,
I don't
you
have
can't
time
just,
for that
you see,
talk.
when you do
I
something,
don't have
you
time
see,
for that crap. I'm talking about
the same way you ask me, when you do the investigation, you cannot just rush to investigation. You got to build a block. It's a block. You got to build a block. You got to build a block. You got to build a block. If you don't have that's a problem we're facing in our country, because we don't have a strong foundation. And if you have a strong foundation, you will be able to escalate to the roof of the. But when that foundation is cricket, you can't move forward of that.
Let's establish the basis of this investigation with your expertise here. Is it possible, am I right to say an alleged crime is being committed, considering the money issue and all of that? It's against the law.
Oh yeah, it's a private. It's a felony. It's not Mr. What's the name? Mr. He was running for president. What's the name? He was coming. Mr. Gonglo. Mr. Gonglo. He said it. Robbery. He talked
The
about penal.
opposition. This is why the Elizana Cummings and this. I think
No.
Chairman Gonglo is
Oh,
the
Chairman
one.
Gonglo. Yeah, Chairman Gonglo. Thank you.
The rule of law. There is no opposition to it. There are associations in our country because they are weak, they are unable, and that's what happened. If a party cannot sustain herself, then that's what happened. And that's not one of the oppositions. Where is the civil society? Where is the civil? There must be a citizen arrest, as we're talking about now. You have people who that we have elected, taxpayer paying them, and they're talking, they're rationing our money. It reminds me when I was in Waterloo refugee camp, when UNHCR was Red Cross used to come those days and give us handout. That's exactly these people are doing. And up to this time, nobody, no institutions, even the media are not asking all of the tough questions. The Minister of Justice, the police commissioners, and all of the anti-corruption millions institutions that we have, the NSA that increase of budget over the roof. Where are they?
Great. I think I posted something. I wrote immediately when the police department happened. You can put it up there. According to DV and police in the Liberian National Police. And I get another article coming out tomorrow, or maybe before the weekend, something on what happened at the Temple of Justice, at the Capitol building. So it's I think. But here's the thing: you mentioned the police. Who's supposed to be the national? They are the national police who are responsible. The NSA collect intelligence, the anti-corruption, they do recommendation. But the people who are supposed to do the investigation themselves, they are also tied up with their own investigation. Look at it.
Business people money say.
So here's the point. How will the police? How will the police go? How will the police go? How will the police go and start investigating the legislature? Then they themselves, their hands are in the cookie jar. So if you let me play a devil advocate right now. If they are arrested, let's say the individual arrested. The first thing, let me go back a little bit. What happened to O.J. Simpson case when Lee Berry asked Mark Froman, have you called anybody the N-word? That was the end of the case. Here is the police people who themselves, their hand is in the cookie jar. The same thing we're talking about the legislature, the same thing we're talking about the police department. Okay, so these are the issues. So the only recommendation I can do is for it to get credibility and for it to be attentive. What the Minister of Justice need to do is to settle, okay, independent counsel. We got a lot of credible people in our country, in our community.
Why is he not doing that? Is he waiting to get an authority from Joseph Newman Boyka?
It's not necessary. It's not necessary to say he's going to get
This is why it's happening. It's unlikely here. You saw here when Joe Biden was involved in something that the president washed his hand and turned it over to the Attorney General of the United States, and a special counsel was set up. Are you guys telling him to hold on until the president go ahead? Is that a case or what? Why would the president? We need to follow the root of this thing here, because it reminds me of Kona Bedi leaving Cote d'Ivoire with the speaker, and this is a complete political mutiny that went on in Liberia. Joseph Boyka went to the Pope Holy Land with a guy who is a Catholic guy and on it to hear mutinies, not military mutinies, but political mutinies going on in the capital. Is Joseph Boyka needs to explain as well?
No, that is a 10-man in command. That's a 10-man in command. If the president deems it necessary to travel with him because of a connection with the Pope or with the
why he took the chaos broke in? Is there some? No, I'm a free thinker. I can think way.
That's what I'm doing. But you see, if you give me time instead of suffocating me, you add like
long-term preparations. You add like a fanatical fan.
Thank you. You're adding like a fact station. When Camara went there, the suffocator, she can't even explain herself. So give me the opportunity. Let me learn. Then you can do any other question you want. All right? Then we'll deal with it. Let's have a civil discussion. These are the issues. The president
chance to talk.
The president invited the speaker to go with him. Knowing the magnitude, he will go into the Vatican and he will go into a room and say, look, let's go with me as the president of Caliphate. It's a courtesy. So it's not an intent to say mutiny because the president took the 10-man commands and what necessary thing or unnecessary thing they did in Liberia. So the president got nothing to do with it. There's no implication that the president went there, so that will justify the behavior or the legislature did.
Counsel, it's not you going to tell me. I'm not going to listen to you because you are one of those. It's only the special counsel when the Ministry of Justice set up an independent counsel that will get it. I'm just saying this because that's what happens in the articles before. And what happens, it was similar to what is happening here, complete political orchestration because Colombier wanted to get certain things done, which of course they are only succeeded, but this one here, they have not. And this is quite interesting to see what is going on. Let's listen.
Okay, let's go ahead. Listen.
Let's listen to it. Hopefully I get the audio here. I kind of say it of I think Bawa Branelt, who spoke with one of the lawmakers.
We are in conversation with a group of lawmakers who want to.
Are you getting the audio?
On today,
loud and clear.
Collect the official listing alongside with $15,000 United States dollars. It has been speculated that lawmakers have been offered money. But we have also Representative Collins. Welcome to the media side.
Thank you.
You want to tell us what happened? How did you end up with this money and the listing? Why are these things here, sir?
Yeah, for the past 2 days, there have been the news in and around the Capitol building about lawmaker wanting to impeach Speaker Kofa. Then we heard that a certain group of them are giving money out. You have to receive $15,000. And after you sign and the mission is accomplished, then of course you can receive the balance of the money. I was told that the total sum is $25,000. So I also been making some due diligence and follow-up because this is not good for our country. I think we have come here to work for our people. So being sitting outside of the 54th before coming in as 55th lawmaker, I came with a clear agenda that I'm coming to work for the Liberian people, not myself. So I decided to go there and pretend as though I am part of them. And of course, they called me last day, and I said we're going to conclude it today. So this is where we end up. I managed to do away with the amount of 14,000 plus because Representative Jim Collette took, I think, about 200 or some more dollars from Honey in the presence of Clarence Guy, along with his travel. But we have also planned ourselves. We made a plan that a group would be behind me, and because I have not identified myself to be anywhere, I will go there and act like I'm part of them, and make sure that what they are doing to be brought in public. And this listing, you will be surprised. The names are here. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. So page 4 at the end here, you will see my name. That is how I managed to actually get the money because I have to I'm signing, of course, and do away.
But what would be wondering, how on earth you managed to come with this listing? How did it happen? Was there an altercation? And who actually called you for the money?
Yeah, because they have been wanting for the number to build up. So I have to use my own logical experience. So I cajole them and make sure that this listing be in our possession, along with whatever involved with the listing, which is the money.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Anything else?
Well, that's it. The Liberian people will get to know. I'm sure we are here to work for the Liberian people.
But if I may ask, why on earth you choose not to go with other lawmakers? Why you choose to reject it?
You have to tell me. You have to convince me beyond all reasonable doubt. Why do you want to do this? Is it good for our country? It's
So, this is quite, look, it's like people in the theater, all right? It's like people, I can't believe, but I hold I hold our people to responsible because they allow these things, they protect their alligators, they protect their own alligators, like in the case of you, Jared Washington, and that of the liberals. Now you try to convert this event, you want to be an independent, we welcome you to redemption is what we want in society. It's good. It came from out of your mouth. I didn't put a finger in your throat. You say you want to be an independent. So I'm watching keenly that independency must be exhibited. It's not just something that you just throw out and you don't walk the walk. Now, see what is happening in our country. These people, this is not the first time, this is not the second time, but are you disappointed? Let's be honest here. Are you disappointed under the watch of this government? They should be on top of everything. I'm not saying they should control or regulate the behaviors of the first branch of government, but there must be everything. They must do everything possible to the chief executive. They can expedite. There must be an investigation. They are just watching. Oh, they don't know anything. So the question is, where this money coming from? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from the national coffers, from LRA in another versions of Ami Modad type? We're going to find out down the road, or the Ministry of Central Bank Finance, or somebody doing something. Where is this money coming from? How can we trace this money? Is it possible in the first place?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's possible. Where there's money come from, there will be a trace. But you see, I want to clarify something. I am an independent. I say I want to be an independent. I am an independent individual. So look at it straight. But yes.
We're not going to argue on that.
We're not going to do on it. We're not going to do
something here to distract why these questions are running. You're never independent. You have never been your independent. You are a partisan.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But let's get to the issue on hands right now. Let's get to the issue on hands. First of all, that representative, he should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. Yeah, why? You as a certain representative, somebody call you that we are going to commit a crime. Then he said you're going to play or detective. The first thing you should have done was call the law enforcement officer. This is what's going on, and they will advise. But you become the associate to the crime. You follow the crime, you know the crime is going to be committed.
Is it possible he can be child facilitator? He also facilitated
Of
crime.
course, I'm putting the charge out there right now. He associated to the crime. The coup gonna happen. Take for example, coup gonna happen. You know, there's a plenty of coup. Then you say, "Oh, you are not an undercover agent. That's not your responsibility as a representative." Eh? Coup gonna happen, and then they say, "Oh, I heard a coup." They say they want to overthrow the government, or they're gonna they come somebody coming
And you didn't report it to the authority concerned.
You don't report it to the authority. Somebody coming, the building that behind you. Somebody say, "We'll come and burn it down." Then you say, "Okay, you know what? And you had a match here. I'm going to find out behind you for you to see if he actually going to commit a crime." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's the thing? The people behaving like a mafia. They go on highway to defile money. What? On the highway to divide money. They went to the parking lot on somewhere on bypass, took out some cars with no lesson plate and driving in the street. These are the things we're talking about. And the hell, you are a legislature, sitting representative. The driving a vehicle is not registered. Suppose John Doe drive the car in the street and police arrest and they say, "Oh, the police arresting." So what happened? Let's think let's go out of the box. Within that process, if a police officer has stopped them and say the car is not registered, I'm going to tow this car. What are they going to do? You're going to tell the police, will say, I'm a senator, yeah, senator is not involved. I'm a representative for that reason. I cannot be arrested driving with a unregistered car. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. These people, they need to be handcuffed. So seriously. I mean, we're not going to do it literally, but these are people who need to be investigated. If they are found guilty, we'll get in the benefit of the doubt, due process law. But it's, the thing I want to understand, I want to say here too, is they themselves have their own committee. They can do the internal investigation and they can refer to the Minister of Justice, or the Minister of Justice can come in and say, yeah, yes, this is what happened because of the intensity of the what happened with the legislature and what happened with the police department. We're going to have an independent body. I will appoint an independent body to be able to go through the case, go through the investigation, and make a recommendation to the Minister of Justice if there's warrant for prosecution and these people need to be prosecuted. Those will be exonerated. That's why our criminal justice system works.
You know, but
I mean,
it's
but the first thing is, because you see, now you cannot just go there and have them arrested, but you can do it. If there's a probable cause that you feel that the Ministry of Justice can do it, even though there are certain representatives, there are certain exceptions to the rule. They are happy here.
The essence of this anti-corruption unit and all of this, this is complete nonsense. Complete.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, so, duplication of function. A duplication of function. And this,
the NSA budget, you increase to the roof. This is crime, alleged crime is being committed right under their feet, and they sit down. Nobody saying anything. Nobody doing anything.
No, but you see, the responsibility of NSA is not to arrest.
Yeah, not to arrest, but they can also do their own investigation. We need to know the root. We need to know the root of that. That's where NSA will come in. They need to know what is that terrorism, some sort of money laundering or whatever illegal money.
Thank you. Oh, okay, fine. That's my point.
Unless investigation. And Joseph Boyka is not authorizing, because that's a tradition in our country. It's always these people, like, they don't know their function, and that's how the system has been from time to time. Here, when there's an issue, the Attorney General, FBI, when they feel there's a potential crime, what they did the other day, the New York mayor, the ugly long hair man, right?
Adam,
right? Yeah. Then when collected her devices, iPad, phones, computers, and everything, he's still there. FBI, FBI, the federal agents, if they feel there's a potential crime or anything, they can bust through my door. Yeah, they can bust through your door anytime if they feel there is a potential crime. Unless investigation proves otherwise, crime is not committed, they let you go. But here we are, people. I mean, there are people playing paper, 15,000. We want to do the one, when we move this one, that is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. And then the citizenry itself. I reached out to our own representative, our own grandchildren, because the kid got a year own baby. Jeremiah Sokan, Marie Johnson. You see, this is why poor people, when you give poor people something to, it's a problem in itself. I think you saw ability, how you call statement is even. Poor people, when they get a thing, they abu kiri, they want to get rich overnight. You know, so what is, I don't get it. What is the essence they give you money to remove somebody? No morals, nothing. They give you money to remove people. What was the reason? They didn't explain anything. 15,000, they just gave you the money, and then you let me remove this person. I don't understand.
Well, it's, you see, one thing in law, they call it man rea, is the intent. If I want to rob you out of something, it's not a crime. But one is the intent to deprive of your property, then it becomes a crime. So that's what it is. If you want to know the photo where as a representative, if you want to receive money, it's the intent to deprive somebody of their right, it becomes a crime. They call it man rea. Those who listen, other men telling me I'm talking nonsense. But these are the legal issues. These are the issues that affect the people. First of all, you as a sitting representative, you know that something crime is going to be committed, and you go there and receive the money. You say you want because you want to expose it. Okay, so you got a minister of justice, you got a minister of justice or telephone number, you got a chief of commissioner or police number, you got a what is it? Any other law enforcement in our country for that matter, you had a number. Why is it that you didn't report it, but you say you're going to go on?
Another version of call the Minister of Justice instead of calling police that they are in danger.
Yeah, but you see, there's a rule of engagement when you're going on a cover. So far, I've been trained as you're going on a cover, it got to be approved. But who approve you to go and do it? So it's a lot. But here's a legal issue I want to focus on right now. The Attorney General, the Solicitor General of Republic of Liberia, they have to step up to the plate. Period. Also, expect the this thing. That's period. That's as simple as it is. We can come here and speculate, and this is the right.
Do you think they are moving at a slow pace, considering they will brought the country into chaos?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe they are thinking another way. Maybe because they are legislature, so they gave them, they gave them such.
In as much I might have my own, not own some political differences with Fanatic Kofa, but I think the bottom line here is these people are pissed. Kofa calling for the audit. You see, this is how the system in our country would never be fixed. I don't care what we do. Whoever you take, even you take Joe Biden, you take Donald Trump, you take Bill Clinton, you take Barack Obama, president number 1, number 2, that the system will always be like that because people do not want to be held accountable. All of these people that are doing this thing is because I believe Kofa is the first ever to call for audit. And it's to the displeasure to most of these people that this guy is about to dump us in the gutter. We will be disgraced. The only thing we can do here is to cut short his mission, calling for this audit because we're going to be in a mess. And I see that is a possible reason for me that I see such a political ploy to say they try to oust him because they're not telling us anything. They're not saying anything. If they wanted to remove him sincerely, they don't have to wait until he's out of the country. They all have their power. They could go in chambers, they could argue their point, they could lobby, they could go around and something. But you know what? They decided to apply what we call financial violence because it's the system. That's how it's been working. That's what got the snow. The as a way number, Ellis Taylor. From 5,000, 10,000, now it's 15,000. Who knows what the other next speaker? These people, they know exactly what they are doing. But I think what they have done, and if Unity Party here is into this year, they are meeting their political demise. Go ahead.
There's an interesting thing because Mr. Snow, I think I get feedback.
Let me bring the right here. Let me bring the right Reverend political analyst Terry Collins is based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Jerry confessed in the eyes of the public. He has now declared himself as an independent. So we got to watch him what his tone if he just saying it to kind of like think that he want to fool us here, but he said it publicly that he's independent, he's no longer watching. So I don't know where you are now too. But good evening, happy Sunday, welcome.
Happy Sunday, Mr. So, Mr. Bako, security analyst. Happy Sunday, man.
The same to you, brother.
Jerry, am I lying? Didn't you say you are independent now?
I've been independent. I always independent. I'm saying independent now. I always been independent. You see, here's the thing. I am saying,
I'm teaching a lot of people. I don't think liberal would like that statement.
Well, listen. No, as a security analyst, I would say what it is right. Maybe the way he understood it to be, that's what it is. But I'm here to tell you what the law said, and that's why I understood the law. That's why I'm telling him. But he always. So I'm not denying it. As a chairman for worker movement in Rhode Island, I had an affiliation. Everybody on the show knows very well who I am. So I'm not denying it, but I say I would give my independent voice what it is necessary. That's what I'm saying. I'm not denying it. That's what I said.
The phone line is open. We need to hear it. We need to hear it. But Eric, welcome to this Sunday editions of the Examiner. Okay, go ahead, Jerry, and then I'll bring you Mr. Collins.
The point here is, Mr. So, our country need. You see, we are setting a bad precedent if we continue on the path. 3 speakers have been removed with money, like you said, cash violence. 3 speakers have removed from the. When it comes to Snow, was the last person. Then we talk of morality. Snow, they went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said no. Snow, representative, he won the case. So there's a precedent. So we can visit that what the ruling of that Supreme Court said. But the interesting thing here is, Mr. Snow. Yesterday, I think day before yesterday on one of the network, he said the price is going up. That means money is in Liberia now. His case for 5,000 from 10,000 to 15,000, 10,000 to 15,000. So who knows the next one account will go to in fact at 25,000 because down payment they give you 15,000 down payment. Then when the speaker is removed, you get about $10,000. And here we are in our country. Schools are in a deplorable condition. Hospitals are in a deplorable condition. Roads are in deplorable condition. Electricity, we can't get electricity. We can't get clean water in this country. And legislators are receiving 15. The people supposed to cry out. You shouldn't send them back again in the midterm election. Those are all involved in this thing. I'll pause for now.
You will send them back. This is.
They don't want to send them back.
You will send them back. Terry, are you happy with what is going on in our country? This sort of disgrace that these people they are involved in, the way they are treating our people, but we are also partly responsible because the citizens should speak and frown on these things here, but they will not do it. Everybody's going to protect their own alligator. They're going to protect their own political attachment because these people see them as their political godfathers, and they are taking care of them. But they fail to realize that they represent the constituents, whether people voted for or against. It is unlawful. That is a crime. These people, what they did. But where is the civil society? Where are the human rights advocacy group? Where is the opposition? Only Tiawan Gongo speaking out. The 555,000 political parties. These parties without offices, they just move on wheel with their grip. Where is the misery man? What the guy named the man with the plenty of beer? Who are getting these numbers? Appleton.
Appleton working with the government.
Oh, you see that?
Yeah, Mr. So that is this disheartening thing, but we got to look at also that it have not really fully been proven that these guys took money. Or your guys, I was listening to you guys when you guys were talking about the guy who allegedly said that these people gave him money, cannot adequately prove beyond all doubt that he was very bribed. It's still not clear because he didn't tell us where the money coming from, and he didn't tell us, adequately what the money was given to him for. He just said the people gave him money, blah, blah, blah. They call him and he signed. Now, you already signed and he said if he had not signed, he was not going to get the money as an evidence. How sure are we that it's not a CDC setup? You know, so all the
So
how
you
you call
see,
it.
this is how you see. This is the difficulties involved with you people who get these political now. CDC, you're not calling Unity Party, you're not calling all of these other parties. So how possible? Probably, don't you think is the Unity Party too?
Mr. So the enemy of your enemy is my friend. I mean, is my enemy. Have you heard that saying before? The enemy, there can come a time where enemies can become friends to get rid of an enemy. So the Unity Party, they feel that it's becoming interesting for them, so they have to join whosoever the CDC to carry on the plot, because the enemy of your enemy will become my enemy. So that is what is happening now. So I won't rule Unity Party out of it, because most of the Unity Party people, they are celebrating, because and you and I know that they wanted. So even if
what is the purpose? So quickly, Terry, what's the purpose of their celebration?
that they will have the opportunity to become speaker, that Unity Party will take over the slot. And we saw this coming a long time ago when Fonati Kofa won that position. I said it before that there's a possibility that Fonati can win, and in the future they could undermine him, because that is the politics of Liberia. That what happens in Liberia.
So then, in the interest of fairness and fair conversations, is there any probability if they are celebrating? Is it fair to say they have orchestrated this political chaos at the first branch of government?
Well, I will not wholly squarely put it on them, because to be honest, in as much that they say, oh, they get power record, that was the preliminary stage. Everybody fighting for the slot. So Unity Party had to put some strength. So they did try to secure that position, but for now, I don't want to think wholly and solely. Why? Because we're looking at who benefits the more. Direct beneficiary to this particular plot will be Thomas Fowler. And it is alleged by Melvin Cole and other guys who stood for Fonati that squarely Thomas Fowler is involved in the plot. It's clearly, it has been clearly proven. So you can say
it's been facilitated. It's been facilitated by another group of people besides he.
Yes, by extension.
And I want to agree with you, because some of they think maybe people like Nathaniel McGee and some sort of the Highlander within the CDC were going to support that, but they also know there's a long-term political danger involved in that. So I'm wondering here, what could possibly be the reasons? What is the long-term contingency here on the part of Unity Party that it should profit them? Because Fanatic Kofa has not been very obstructive to this government. I've been talking, except one thing that can come on top of my hair here is the other he calls for. I think these people see here, it was a turning point of breaking the camel's back, because it's like these people, this guy is trying to bring disgrace to us. This guy is trying to put us on the bus. This guy is trying to do something. Or this guy is more or less positioning himself for 2020. Now, most likely that in the case, so politicians, they are tricky people. So let's do something to slow him down.
Yeah, so there could be many factors that could lead to that. But we must also understand that these people are saying Fonati Kofa called for this audit in February, and he have not concluded the audit because the audit will definitely indict him. So could it be the audit that we're talking about here, or could it be that many lawmakers are not really getting what they're supposed to get? So because of that, they feel disenchanted in the leadership of Fonati Kofa. I think from my perspective is that the reason why they're undermining the speaker is because they see that the speaker is generating more and they are not getting anything. Most of those lawmakers are complaining that the incentives are not rolling. So based upon that,
what kind of incentive is still one?
Well, the gas slips, the benefits, and all those kind of things. They have been complaining that most of the things that they're supposed to be generating is not rolling to them. And they see Fonati Kofa on honeymoon with the president. They are not, they feel that they are left out of the bandwagon. So we have to look at and consider the plight and the complaint of the representatives and do not negate it and say, oh yeah, you know, these people just because if there is a plot, and this plot have been going on since June as alleged, that means that there's a growing concern because nobody is going to give me 15,000 to remove my speaker if I don't want to remove him. All right. And we must understand that it's possibility that Thomas Fala could not have raised the money, but Thomas Fala could have reached out and said, look, myself, I agree to remove the man, but I don't have the money to give to other representatives to enforce this thing, even though many representatives want to remove. So there's a possibility, I'm not leaving Unity Party out of it. There's a possibility Unity Party could provide the means and Thomas Fala could initiate it because an enemy to my enemy could be my friend. You know, so obviously, because what I'm looking at is the money for CDC to raise that money, 1.2 million. I doubt that they can raise that money. So I want to believe that some portion of that money came from our people. But whether if the president is aware,
I don't know your people. Who your people? Say you get people now. We probably not get people. Who your people?
where Mr. So I plead the fifth on that one. But what I'm saying is there is a
hold on. You preach today in church, and I ask you a simple question. You want to plead the fifth here? How if you're
not bring the church exactly right now? We're not talking about. We're not near the Pope now. That fanatic Kofa beside that that a man fanatic went to the Pope. I'm not near the Pope. We are discussing the Kosu have taken off. We hang it up. We're discussing politics.
Let me put what Jody is saying here because I think your congregation next Sunday your church will be empty. That thing you're talking about, Terry Colin. Please stop this guessing analysis and say something.
Forget about George, man. George, every day you get problem with me. Every day George get problem with me. Every day.
But
I'm giving my view. And my only small Tabata are talking because CDC raise $1.2 million to honor man the speaker?
It's a much deeper thing into this thing here. And at some point in time, you see what people fail to realize the day of Samuel Doe, even the Helen Johnson salute, Charles Taylor, the media, the social media was not effective as it is. All right. So right now, both electronics, prints, and all of these things happen goes fast like this. And these people, they're so mean. Our people, country people, they're so mean. Mean to the extent that some of these people, all these loose money they get, they are off people that are working with them, they are office staff. We can say they can't throw something, but these people see this trail. Even they go to the bank, they tell her all of this information now. By the time you turn your back, you know, they send it somewhere. Prints, electronic media get hold of it, and boom. So the thing we are living in a part of fantasy land that people lived 10 years ago. There's a serious advancements of the media, the social media, electronics, how people get information going. But who the $1 million question here is, and that guy, you know, if we're America, yeah, Jared, let me bring the part here with your expertise here. And I think you said it already. This lawmaker who is acting like an undercover agent, NSA undercover agent. Where's the something? If there are some states, whatever, they're supposed to call him to tell who's the person that who gave that money. He should get the listing. His number 34 on that. So you can't just get a password without you knowing unknown person just come and give you 15,000 without you asking who authorized that disbursement, where that money coming from. They need to call him.
But here's the thing, Mr. So. You see, let's assume that you say he went there as an undercover. It's a stolen. Will you know where the money coming from? First of all, if you receive any money that it been stolen, if you receive that property, you receive a stolen property, you are guilty as much as the person who did the act. So let's establish that. But the scary thing I want the people who listening to us tonight, if they can buy our legislature, especially in this sensitive world we are living today, terrorist attack, who get that money? Hmm? Where that money came from? You're talking about what? Almost $2 million. Where it came from? Who get that money? Where it came from? What are the interests? So these are the issues that brain people supposed to be concerned about. Because you see, terrorists, they don't
Don't you
come
think
and say
don't you think your government should be more concerned as well?
it's not only my government, the government of Republic of Liberia should be concerned about what is going on. And we need to get to the bottom of this thing because these are the higher peak. Folks, it's the higher peak. It's the fault of the president, it's the fault of the legislature, it's the fault of the judiciary. So this thing is important. If we can go as far to our legislature, it's worrisome. I think I wrote an article called Cybercrime in Liberia, Liberia ready for cybercrime. These are the things somehow we are pushing for how the cybercrime law for it to be implemented so they can sign that in the law so the people will be prosecuted. We don't have this thing. Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
you are the legislature. You don't even know where that money came from, and you go say it in the car and receive money and say, "Oh, I'm doing undercover investigation." Who are you?
Mr. So, the thing here is this, the right quotation is the enemy to my enemy is my friend. An enemy to my enemy is my friend. So there will come a time where two enemies will agree to remove an enemy that is an enemy. So you see, Mr. Background. So what is happening? What is happening here is what's going on now, right? Unity Party benefits in the final analysis if there is an agreement on the table that the order in question here that is damaging that might have taken place, all right, will not be exposed, brought to the public, and will
But
not
Terry,
be
let me
persecuted.
pause it. Let me pause it there for a while. The audit is not a crime yet. That audit report come up. We all here audit work every 3-4 months to say we need to audit you to see how we spend the money. That's all. If there's a mismanagement on my part, then it becomes an issue. But to audit, I think everybody should welcome an audit, get them or how you call it, a wet blanket so they can walk on it to come and
Mr.
do the audit.
Bacon,
What are you afraid of?
Mr. Bacon, how will you say that when you
What?
just heard just a while ago on radio station, representatives were accusing representatives of millions of dollars misappropriation? Who will want that kind of audit to come out? Who?
But fine,
Then you
fine. You see
hear
what?
that
That
you
was
also
exonerate
heard,
you and myself. That was
look,
exonerate you and myself.
gentlemen,
That was
I'm
that
not.
was exonerate you and myself. So those who say there's a misappropriation of money,
Well,
and those
yeah,
who the accused and the
the
accuser,
phone
and
line.
when the audits come, when the audits come, they will find out the file who telling the truth or who telling the lie. So I think if I were in the shoe, I was willing to for the audit to come because it was exonerate me. If I accusing you, say, hey, we want APR, you are taking the APR money. So, and you say, no, I'm not, I'm not taking the APR money. Then let the audit come and do the audit. You are being a certain ready. You go free. That's all.
Look,
I
Mr.
think the people
So,
should welcome the audit.
okay, let agree that we say, okay, our government here now is why the justice minister can take the lead and carry on investigation as regarding who ready or gave the 1,200,000
He's waiting to get an approval from President Jose Newman Boyka. And that's the question I asked Jared Blushing, and he is not willing to answer that question. You
But
two came this Sunday after preaching, you came here to plead the fifth and say we are not. This is the problem.
no. You misquoted me. I answered the question. This is how I answered the question. I say because of the credibility and because of the involving the legislature, for that reason, they should appoint an independent counsel who will investigate the matter. Because yes, the police people, they didn't say hand was in the cookie jar the other day. Yeah, still pending. We are not even found out what what they did with the money or the 28,000 or 20-some $1,000. They're still hanging over their head. Now they're going to investigate. So that's why I said the Minister of Justice needs to accuse herself from the case, let them give it to an independent body. She or he will do the investigation and make the recommendation. That's what I said. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it.
I don't know. This is so, I don't know. Over 300 investigations, endless, nothing. We're not getting anything. I mean, mother owner, whether he still get a car with him or he not get a car, it's going to be a
No, the president said the car should be turned over if it should be used as a guest car for them to for guests when guests come in the country.
All the money they get about bulletproof, they can't take something to buy a gas car that are looting money. That money is supposed to go back to government revenue. It was illegally taken. So it can be, you see, that is just substituting, making replacement on things that couldn't be. That itself is a wrong way of getting the system done. So then he facilitating a wrongdoing to say that it was used for it. It wasn't bought for guest car. It wasn't bought for guest car. It should be turned over to GSA. When GSA say, okay, it can be used for guests, then that's it. So like, I mean, Moderna, he's gonna be walking, hand shrinking with all of these things here. That's the end of it. So where are we? How do we want to see our nation to be transformed? Because people who even supposed to hold the executive branch accountable see the disgraceful thing that they are doing.
But Mr. So, let me say this. In order for us to get some credibility, we need the Minister of Justice to be independent. The Minister of Justice, even though it's under the
Minister of Justice is independent.
No, really. It's a man shadowed by the executive mansion because the executive mansion will always say, "Oh, the Minister of Justice." No,
Mr. Baba, are you indicting your own government tonight?
I'm not. I'm not indicting it. I say the Minister of Justice will be independent because
he's independent. If you say the Minister of Justice is not independent, then it means you're trying to tell us that the rescue mission is overshadowing the functions of the Minister of Justice.
What I'm saying here to you, Mr. Terry, the Minister of Justice need to be independent in a sense.
I agree with you.
You see, as you give it, say the truth. This is what happened, and these people need to be prosecuted. If we can prosecute people in our country for wrongdoing, it's a deterrent. But if we stay going to, why you lead that thing, that's the problem we have in our country. People need to be handcuffed, soon the money, they go there to their houses and just put their hands.
How people are being handcuffed? When we're talking about having a disciplined society, we need more of correction facility that are better yellow. Whether it can be for the elite or so, and you and the liberal here, they argue, say, "Oh, we want poor people in jail, poor people." They are more criminals.
No. That way you got it wrong. We are not advocating that people shouldn't be incarcerated if you have committed a crime. But what you're saying is that you should open the old day of better yada, and we are changing. The institution should be.
It's not a maximum person confined here.
Oh yeah, we do. But it's livable. It is livable. We're not going to go put in 24 by 24. You put about 30 people in that 24 by 24.
We're going to build a modern facility.
Will be the same people who will be complaining. Or tomorrow.
No. We're not going to complain. We're going to cut down that bulletproof. Nobody going on the hunt for the president. The secret survey or how they call it, EPSR down there. Somebody went there almost to choke the president. If they want to kill the president, they're going to do that. So they need more training. I don't think that's the priority, but we need to have some real correction facility that we have training facility that when we take them from industries, when those ones that are doing so bad things, you care them to force them to learn vocational training. And, to do some vocational work and all of that, to stay there. And Jackson Jr. and a lot of big people then say they do big politicians, they get places for them. We're going to have those places for all group of people. If you are a celebrity, we put you in a celebrity run. If you're a politician, We'll put you somewhere, TV will be there, you will watch the news, you will see yourself, they will show you all of that. That's what needs to be done. That's the only way. But things happen. Now, I mean, mother thing, it disappear now. The few did a fanatical fan. Next week, trust me, some kind of senator story will come again, they will forget about it. Investigation.
You forgot Famula case too.
Mr. So, yeah, the reason why I'm thinking that our government has some hand in this thing. Why? Because take for example, right? There have been many audits that have been laying on the president's decks that he have refused to carry out. Audits that he have withdrawn, the NSA audit, other audits that we expected this government to prosecute. They just play low on all those audits. In my mind, is there a compromise? Is there something going on behind the scene that we don't know about? Audits, genuine audits have not been touched. Look at the DEA right now. Look at the condition. People calling on the radio, telling the president to act. He refused to act. He's still appointing, acting when you know that these are the things you ran on for the survivability of your people. Then you refuse to act. It's insensitivity. So if men at Thomas Farah could say, okay, let me pick up the phone and call somebody in the rescue government and tell them, say, you know what, I'm ready for this man to leave power because I think my interest lies. There can be a negotiation. It's political. That, oh, you know what, if you don't carry out, if you don't do this order, if this order don't go through that Fanatical Fire is calling for, blah, 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 you know, I can give the position to you guys.
Terry,
and maintain the deputy. Those are the things. I'm just speculating. Yeah.
What is the long-term game strategy in this whole thing here? What is Unity Party trying to do here? Are they trying to position themselves? Is there another version of saying, well, their coalition will possibly not work, so they try to position themselves to solidify their political grip way ahead of 2029? Is that the contingency plan they are having now? Because I was just telling you, similar thing like they happening in La Cote d'Ivoire with Kona Bedi. He took the speaker, they went on a nice time. While they were there, political meeting took place and the speaker was removed. Why would Joseph Boyka take the speaker of the Republic of Liberia, the chairperson, and we're seeing political mutiny is ongoing and not much is being done, because much being done in the sense that this money, we need to know who authorized this money, where this money coming from. The government issue a statement, they say, well, they don't have anything to do with it, that's okay. But they also need to go much further than that to tell us to deploy our resources, just how they increase the budget of the national security that should be able to combat some of these crimes that are going on here. People distributing illegal monies and distributing it here for some sort of different reasons. They need to tell us exactly where that money is coming from. And we don't know.
Mr. So you are just correct. And the reason, the sanction that will come will not only fall on the how you call it. Many people think that the sanction going to come and fall only on the legislature. No, the sanction will fall on members of the USQ government as well.
Why different governments should always compare our people to do the right thing? I don't get it.
Because that is how we are. We are babies.
We do stuff.
Mr. So we are babies. We're not mature. We are 100 and some more year old babies. We don't know what to do. Look, let me tell you something. This is the contingency plan of the Unity Party, right? And you just said it. What does Unity Party stand to gain? That's why I always look for the person who benefits the most in this whole entire thing. Unity Party, if they have the opportunity to control the speakership of the House, they prepare themselves for 2029. That they stand a better chance to gain more from this particular seat than the opposition. They have the greatest slot here. So that's why I'm saying that, you know, we could take, for example, now, what made me to say that Unity Party here inside is because there are all the Unity Party representatives are not trying to fight against Fonati Kofa removal. Instead, they have endorsed it. And what have JMB done? He just came to the country. What is the Unity Party people doing? Are they calling the people and saying, "My people, you're back off"? Are they saying that? They are not. They are joining the 43 persons to remove the speaker.
So the probability here, and Jerry Bacon is not talking right now because he knows that what we are speaking to what really.
Oh, no, I don't want to join me. I don't want to join me. But yeah, what I want to, yeah, what I want to say. Yeah, what I wanted to say. I know you and Terry are going back, but yes, it is. From now to 2029, stay far away. But what happening now? By the time we reach 2026, 2027, most people finish forgetting about what are happening elected. But my concern here is the security. Security is stupid. Where this money came from? Who gave the money to these people to do this act? Okay, let's forget about partisan. Okay, fine. Maybe the legislature or the executive don't want to go that route, but the executive also had an obligation, which under the Ministry of Justice, to investigate where is the origin of this money.
That is all of the people that are about to tell you something. Nobody want to say anything.
Yeah. Where is the origin? Where is the origin of the money? Who facilitated the money? Where is the origin of this money? Who behind this money? These are the issues we're supposed to be discussing, because that's the beginning of the investigation. You have to find the cause of the there are three things: opportunity cost and cost. These are three investigations: opportunity cost. That's it. If you get a cause, you will commit a crime. If you get an opportunity and a motivation, these are the three things. So, who behind this? Where the money came from?
And that's a question I want to send to our correspondents during this coming
who are these people? Who are these people, and what is the interest? What is the interest for this sponsoring the people to have coup d'etat in the Capitol building? And who are the facilitators in that coup d'etat? So these are the elements we should be concerned about. I mean, I understand
the CDC lawmakers join with the Unity Party lawmakers to remove the speaker. What does that tell you?
Granted, but what I'm saying here, Terry, what I'm saying to you is, granted, they want to move, but the question, who sponsor it? There's somebody who is it, like the bill is coming to the house. Let's take for let me go to the other father. Medicine coming to the country. Those who have pharmacy, they push for the pharmacy for the drugs are coming to the country, because you know what? They are the people who lobbying to the legislature for the bills to pass, so they can bring their drugs into it's not illegal drugs, but drugs to be sold in the pharmacy. So politics interest. Who sent the money? Where it came from? Who are the people? And where the money came from? That is it. That should be our concern. And from there, we'll find out.
No, and Mr. So can Thomas father live for his mattress now and take out 1.2 million out from there to give it so that he can run it? Well, it maybe if you are going to become speaker, I would say yeah. But the CDC that I know, they're not good at putting that much money behind political agendas. You know, if they were in power, that's a different ballgame. But they are not the one in power. And right now, if they lose that position, and now I'm beginning to agree with Edwin Snow, who stands to win the speakership position? Who stand to win the speakership position? You think CDC stand a better chance to win the speakership position over Unity Party? I doubt that. So, and we are only speculating to see where the money really come from. All right, and looking at things, you will see that people are joining here.
We don't know where the money came from. So in that speculation, we want to find out where his money came from. When I say John Doe sponsor it, we don't say the person. If John Doe sponsor it, then we'll say we're speculating. But for now, there's no speculation.
Why the government?
Who sent the money? Where the money came from? Who delivered a huge amount of money? And how it came into this country? If it comes from out of the country. Okay, it gotta come from somewhere.
Let's call here. Let's go to the Constitution state. Let's see whether there's a violation here. There's a breach, and these people might be held liable. Let's go to this number 203 number. Are you there?
Yes, the independent voice is here, Wilson Kettle, and I'd like to say hi to my brother Terry and Mr. Bacon, the security aspect on the show. I've been listening to the conversation, and this part of the conversation is so interesting. Unfortunately, I'm driving. That's why I'm come on set. If I reach my destination early, I will come on set. But here's the thing here. It's a pattern. We got to look up pattern. In anything you do, you have to look up pattern. I know some of us went to school here and they taught us pattern, right? When it quack, it's a quack as a duck, it's a duck. From the get-go, when Jessica Columbus came and talked about the 4,500 about people that was given to lawmaker in the name of the black group they had, that black group of lawmakers that supported Richard Coon. Jessica Columbus spoke about it. This guy came out and denied it. What he mean? The mayor for Lima County, Hassan Bility came out and denied it. When they put Hassan Bility on his spot that he was actually in that meeting and he even asked, "What my own?" And the person, you are not part of the black I voted for Kofa. All of them here said that it was true. And it was happening. Get about anyone to the time that any other men store and say yes, a valid coupon. They already made an arrangement for the guys to pick up the stuff. That was the first time they had discussed in removing the speaker. They were forming that plan. Who were part of that thing? The same Richard Coon and the other people. Today they saw the list. Richard Coon is part of the group that trying to remove the speaker. Where do you think the money will come from? Now, when you see sedition lawmaker, like I saw on the show, I think it was the other night, some of the sedition lawmakers who are siding with the Unity Party and the independent lawmakers to remove over, they're not doing it because of the money or whatever. They're doing it because they are feeling bad the way the speaker is proceeding as far as being an opposition speaker, but also in bed with the government, according to them, or in bed with Unity Party. They wanted the speaker to be high on the president's agenda, to even start the president's agenda, and the speaker not seem to doing that. And so they are mad at him like other citizens who are questioning the speaker's loyalty. Is he loyal to CDC and loyal to Unity Party? And that's the problem people don't understand when they see citizen lawmaker going against the speaker. And now for me, I look at it to be naive because I think the speaker should align with the Liberian people agenda, not specifically Unity Party or CDC. He should align himself with Liberian people agenda to move forward. If Unity Party agenda is to move Liberian power, he should align with that, not to store anything this president is trying to undertake if it's in the interest of Liberian class. And I think that's what the speaker is, but the judicial lawmaker, I think no, the speaker is lying. Unfortunately, they are not even understanding Unity Party strategy. Unity Party strategy is to control the entire house, to control the both houses. So they're fighting by all means to move the speaker. And it's not in CDC interest. Because at the end of the day, when they go to elections, what's going to happen? Unity Party speaker will come to the forefront. They're going to elect a Unity Party speaker. And then CDC will be left with nothing to even hold on to. And that's the problem here. But as far as that money is concerned, that money is coming from the ruling establishment. Because we already got places that no sources that gave that money. It has already come out. You understand? It has already come out. Like Jerry said, CDC will not put up that kind of money to move their own speaker. Are you kidding me? All they gotta do is say, my man, we cannot put a company in you. We keep you out of the party. We are still you on your own, and that's it. And CDC law is gone and say we vote your those company. They gotta put money in or poor pocket to say that for the kids. It doesn't make no sense.
Okay, hold on.
To me, it doesn't make sense.
Hold on 1 second. Let me pick up the other call here. Let's see here. Elvis is on the line. Elvis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. Sir. You getting me?
Loud and clear. Good evening. Welcome. Let's hear you.
All right. Yeah, good evening. Good evening to you, Terry, and Mr. Bachman. Look, I think we all have to just be grateful that we live in this country, we live in America. Can you imagine if those guys in that house were the one making decisions that would impact their life and the future of the children in Liberia, and we were stuck there and there's no other alternative? Yeah, I mean, just imagine. So for me, I think, regardless of what is going on, I mean, Terry has the speculations about who funded the removal of the speaker, but I think the reality is President Boyka wants to have a political hegemony like he saw President Weah having it. The biggest complaint was, why should all the branches of the government be headed by people from either the Southeast or people that are linked to the CDC? So I think the president feel like you have a smooth sailing if we have somebody who is, more agreeable to him. Fonati Kofa is cordial to the president, but he's not, 100% agreeable to him. So removing him, number one, will save the government money because the things that they want to get done won't have to be paid. They won't have to pay a heavy sum to these legislatures to get those things passed. So for Terry to say this came from the CDC, I think it's out of place because the reality is, when people get into government, they have the power of the first, they have the entire country's bank account at their disposal. They can use that money for whatever purpose.
So, Evan, let me just hold you to here. Probably heading ahead of my shadow here. So, uh, you are literally saying, perhaps, is that President Boycott or the Unity Party starving Nancy Kofa in his bag? Let's go on the front line. Let's go taking out the president to make sure everything and cause this sort of chaos that is going on. Is that coming from Unity Party, Billy?
Yes, I think 100%. Look, this thing started a while back. For us, we'll say in the summertime, in July or so. It started way back then when President Boyka was trying to bribe certain lawmakers to put his stooge, coal in it, and it didn't work out. And it felt like, okay, we'll go back for a second time. We'll re-strategize. We'll try to convince the people behind the scene. We'll entice them with money, and we'll try a second time to get him out. And it's always coincidental when things are happening in that country, the president is out of the country. It's almost like these guys coordinate that the president will be out of the country. So if anything goes wrong, you'll have plausible deniability to say, well, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on behind my back. I don't know what. So for me, I think the president needs to slow down. Be smart. Use political tactics. Use political strategies to get your will. Don't just do it with brute, for cash violence, where you think because you have the power of the purse, you can just, bulldoze your way. It makes you look bad and it doesn't occur well for you politically in the future. Those guys have the power of the presidency. They have a lot of influence on politics in the country as it stands. Use smaller ways to get your way. Don't just go over there and try to do things like a gangster and try to buy your way through. I know President Obama saw it doing every justice every time, so maybe he's trying to replicate it. But I think he can get Falaji Kufa out of there in a more smart, in a smarter way. There might be a conflict of interest with him being on certain, boards or being a legal advisor to certain companies and agencies within the government. Use those things. Take it through the court system. If it's good enough, you can remove them. But don't try to do it in a sneaky way. Everybody's going to look at you bad, and that's going to take some points away from you politically. So that's how I see this whole thing.
Wow. Oh.
Let me say this, Mr. C. Let me say this, Mr. CEO. You see, the justice ministry have to work. It is so ironic to see our justice ministry is dragging her feet. If I was just doing something just now, it just came to my mind. The representative for Louisiana, they call him with a lot of money in a refrigerator in your house, and guess what he is? It's 20 years. 20 years. Eh? Because the same thing we're talking about bribery. The bribery money, they found $20,000 in here. When they search it up, they look in the refrigerator, in the freezer, they found 20,000. Yeah, are they people taking cash money broad daylight? Yeah? And there's nothing being done? I feel sorry for our country, our birth country.
There will be another investigation.
Say that again?
There will be another investigation.
What? It's necessary. And necessary because if you don't have investigation, you can't send nobody to court. You got to have evidence.
Let me ask you. I don't know how long we have to, and we'll continue to have this sort of conversation here. What comes to mind in the coming week, and there can be no sort of clear-cut positions on the part of government to tell the Liberian people, hey, from preliminary investigations, this is how far we have gone. This is what the ministry is not speaking. I hope somebody will get the guts to raise their finger to know, because how many days now? Somebody should be able to break through that gap. Somebody should be able to tell the Liberian people exactly what it is. But is it going to be the same old way of this endless investigation to no here, no tay, no middle, nothing to talk about. He, hey, and that's it.
Well, it left. It left with the all depends who ministry or which department handling the investigation. Let's take for example everything like what the president said. The boss start with me. What's the name? I will call the president. The man said the boss start with me. The president, he's in charge. He's the steward of the country, so he have to make some decision. He got to make some tough decisions.
Is he in charge?
He's in charge. He's in
President,
charge. Everything is to go to him. So he is in charge. He had to make some, he got to make some tough decision. And when you are a leader, there's sometimes you got to make some tough decision. It's not popular, but you have to make it in the interest of the country. You got to make it in the interest of the institution. As a CEO here, you also had a responsibility to make some decision. And if somebody here will talk some tabata and say, you know what, Jerry, you can't come on the show now for the next 2 months or for the next 2 weeks or for 2 or 3 days suspension. So you have to make some decision. That's in the interest to maintain the integrity of the
And that's
institution.
exactly what I did. I call you out here and you to popularly turn to independent here, even though your tone, your language doesn't look like one, but that is okay. But at least there was a true confession here. Terry,
yes, sir.
are you running out of patience?
True
There's some of
confession of what? True confession of what? I would stay upstairs. Like I said, I would see as it is. I will tell you what it is. The boss stop with the president. The president have to make a decision. Then some of the cases that what Terry said, but the Terry said, the DEA will stay acting, will Fambula will stay have acting, will the rep or whatever the bosses that came to the country will stay acting, the yellow machine will stay acting. So all the lace, all the laundry.
now the other machine part they say they go, they pay the car and they're going back. So now, oh yeah,
So
so
this
right now,
again, you got to make some decision. You got to show some clarity.
Mr. So, are you
Man,
sending our yellow machine back? So you don't want to go into that road to face?
it's
Are
not
you
a
sending
matter,
our yellow machine back?
it's not a matter of
I'm
road to
telling
this.
you.
Want it to be
Yeah.
done the right way. If it doesn't count the right way, it's detriment. Now,
You
but
guys,
what I ask us here, are you running out of patience? Why it seems now with this sort of rescue here, this coding that came in, all of these things are going on, whether the executive mansion, whether the government is involved directly, indirectly, but it was the same conversation the last time around when things of that doesn't make sense and the things that were happening that was unusual, we frowned on the CDC's government, we frowned on the president, then President George Weah, that hey, he was allowing people were doing whatever thing they wanted to do, and nothing much is being done. Is it the same path that we are on now, or is it equivalent to that?
well, I think we have progressed from the President Weah regime. There are so many things that we can lay our hand on to say that this government is not like the irresponsible government of President Weah, who never took anything serious. And all these things were not being exposed under President Weah government. We never knew what was going on. There was nothing we had control over. People were just afraid in the country to take action, to expose things, and all of that. We had killings all over the place. Unlike President Walker government, in as much as nothing greatly have changed, we must also consider that something great also happening, because what was happening under President Weah is not happening now. People are not panicking. People are not afraid. That is a great relief where people can be freely able to express themselves. You can expose Amin Modar about his vehicle, and Amin Modar can come out and resign. You see the president taking steps like the compelling the finance minister to resign. As compared, even though we
Commerce.
expect more, we expect people to be brought to justice. We expect for people to be persecuted, but at least it's by far greater than what transpired 6 years ago under President Weah government. In this government, we're seeing commerce minister that happens to be in relation to the president wrote a resignation letter. I doubt that could have happened under President Weah. We're seeing one of President Bokah's stunned supporter who became finance minister, resigned. That, to me, that is huge. And we're seeing people boldly expressing themselves, talking about corruption. Right now, no radio station have been vandalized. No radio station have been closed down for freedom of speech. That is something that we must applaud. These are small, small things that are very important to the society that we cannot negate. Because once President Boka starts to do these things, it will create insecurity in the country. People will be panicking, and fear will grip the people, and they will think that they are in a dictatorship government. That is one of the things I don't see in President Boka government. I must applaud him for. But with the aspect of impunity, I think that impunity protects corruption in Liberia. You know, the culture of impunity, it protects corruption. And in order for us to destroy corruption, we have to destroy the culture of impunity. If we cannot destroy the culture of impunity by making sure that those who commit crimes in our society go to jail for the crime they have committed, like Mr. Bacon said, white-collar crimes, well-organized crimes, these people must be held responsible for the crime they are committing. And that is where I must hold President Boka feet to the fire for. I must tell him that he's not active in that area. I must tell him that he's failing the Liberian people greatly in bringing people to book to give account for the corrupt practices that was done in the last 6 years, as he said he was going to do. That is where my disappointment lies.
Okay.
Can I extend on that, please?
Before I give Mr. Bacon chance to come in, is that my fear is this: if and only if this particular ploy do not become successful, if it do not become successful, I still fear for Fanatic Kofa that, in my opinion, the best way he can save himself is to resign. Because we got a saying also, another parable that say, if you don't die today, you die tomorrow, that is seeing death.
CDC for many a meeting. Let's see, before Bacon come, let's see what this report is reporting. The female erotic is among them. You know, this is something. But as we wrap up, but Mr. Bacon, you say you wanted to make a point.
Yeah, let me extend on my dear brother, Colin. I mean, there's some good things happening on the Boka administration, but we need to do more than what we are doing. This administration came with the agenda, say we're here to rescue the Liberian people, which is excellent. On the Boka administration of this kind, the former minister, Samuel Tue, is on indictment, waiting for prosecution. Like I said, the current minister resigned, and it is time for these things to take.
And he was scar-free.
No, listen. He resigned, but here's what I'm saying. We're looking at the magnitude.
Why did he resign? Was there any wrongdoing?
No, listen. You see, here's the thing. What are wrongdoing? The idea he resigned, then we follow. You see,
not just auto it. Things went on. Things went on. There was a lot of conversation that played out that prompted his resignation, from family tension, from government, and all of that. That prompted it. So my question is: was there anything wrong doing?
Yeah, there's something wrong, because if you can't arbitrarily just resign, if there's nothing wrong, there's something that what he resigned for. There's something happening.
Do we need to know do we need to know the procurement process of that vehicle? Did it go through the required process that required in getting government vehicle?
But that's why he did not do that. Why he resigned? That's why he did. That's why he resigned.
So was the crime committed? From your background, I'm just asking you, if you want to plead the fifth, that's fine.
I'm not going to plead the fifth. That's what I'm saying. So I can't tell you that there was a crime committed, but he did not follow the procedure. Listen.
I'm looking for your background. Why can't you? You're trying to fine-tune this. You're trying to make some sort of political correct statement here. I'm asking you a simple question. question. Do you think there was a potential crime committed that resulted to his resignation?
To my belief, no. Okay, no, there was no crime committed, but he made administration blunder. That's the whole thing. He made administration blunder. He didn't take money and say, "I take the money to do it this way. I take the money to do it."
How do you determine that?
For the procedure. If you follow,
Mr. Bacon, how do the Liberian people know that money was not taken? What is the determining factor?
The money was taken. He used it for to facilitate his car. It was a procedure follow. No, he should have gone to GSA to get a car, but he went to ARA to get a car. So what this is the procedure. There's a procedure. Whether it's a fraud or not, but there was a. Say that.
Meaning there was a wrong. Something went wrong. The number.
Of course, something went wrong. Of course, I'm not disputing that fact that something went wrong, but it was on administrative. It made administration error. That's what I'm saying. Comparing to say, yeah, he stole money or he misappropriated money. No, he need for the procedure.
There's no investigation to establish that whether money was stolen or not. So how
for the surface, what we are being here.
You want me to take his word, right?
I mean, it's out there. It is out there that he took 45,000, actually, 95,000 to buy a car, which of course he should have gone through the procedure, which of course he did not do.
He bought a car. Are you concerned with that? Instead of buying cars for the ministry, he bought a car that was used personally by him, but not the employees of the ministry, many of who will wake up 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock to catch bus or vehicle from one point to another to go to work. But he was riding a comfortable, air-cooled GPS, WPS, satellite radio, to whatever you think in it. Do you think that is okay?
Just forget it.
You see, committing a crime means you deny somebody or doing something. Comparing to he did not follow the procedure to go to what they call it, PPC or PPA, whatever the NIA, to follow the procedure. That's something different comparing to say you take the money and convert it.
Should there be a consequence for that? Should there be a
consequence? That's a consequence. That's a consequence he paid. That's a consequence he resigned.
No, you don't just resign. No, that's not it.
Okay, so what is the point?
Yeah, I want to know. We need to know, and Liberian people need to know, there must be an investigation. That the investigation will determine whether there was other financial improprieties. First of all, by it not going through the procurement process itself, it's a red flag. Why it didn't go through that? And you have this other guy with LRA just go there, take the money, and give it to this man here. This one is undone, no here, no tail now. And like you said that the president is telling us that a car should be used for gas, right? Really? So any other person do any wrong thing, they will take that, would write that to A. When there should be a provision, there must be a processes, there must be a procurement process through the GSA to procure these sort of things, that if government needs such a vehicle, that it should go through the process. But now he goes, so we should take it and carry that. So the next day when FDA, MPA take their own tool, they will say, oh, we're going to give that pickup to JFK. Is that what you want us to do?
No, that's what I'm saying. He should resign. If, listen to this very carefully. If
he didn't do why would he resign?
Hold on, can you give me a chance? Can you give me a chance?
Yes. Go ahead. But you're talking too much of Tabata. So
no, I'm not talking. I'm not talking.
Audience.
No. I'm not talking to Tabata. He has resigned. If the Minister of Justice or the Ministry of Justice do it necessary, if there's a crime is committed, they can do the investigation. They can stay indicting and go to court. As simple as that. That's all our rule of law. You're innocent until proven guilty. So if he break the law by not following the PPC protocol, or if he take the money illegally to do it, or he receive money on a false pretense because how they call it, what the other company, the Mente is involved and he receive it, if the government can prove it, so be it. Then they can go to court and say, look, listen, Your Honor, this man commits AAYZ and he need to be prosecuted. That's my point I'm making. I'm not making a point say if there's a crime was uncommitted or crime was committed, you have to go to court and have evidence to prove.
You just frowned before we go. You just frowned on the Ministry of Justice. Do you trust them?
What was your question? You can say that I couldn't hear you.
Do you trust the Ministry of Justice?
Of course, you have my confidence. Until otherwise, you have to do the record that need to be done. We have to do the work. For now, it's a responsibility. If he can't do this thing, it's left for the president and say, you know what, you're not doing the right thing. And for that reason, for now, he got the president confidence. So if you're not doing it, he said can't go. All the Liberian people can all rise and say, hey, Mr. President, the Minister of Justice is not doing the work of the people. Therefore, we ask you to recall him or reassign him. That's a big responsibility.
Before we go, before you guys chip in your final message here, based on your expertise and your background, and we all started out here, you found on that the Ministry of Justice does not need the approval of the governor, like right now, the president, to kind of like initiate investigations of potential crime, the rationings of money, and all of that. What do you think is the ideal time that the ministry or the government will come to explain, to tell us precisely, this is not $5, and not $10. Even Uncle saying you owe them $5, trust me, they send the bill to you and you have to pay. But we're talking about good money. How long do you think, what is the ideal time to hear from the Ministry of Justice or the Ministry of Information to relay whether we're going to be coming from the Ministry of Justice or some other investigators regarding this money? What is the ideal time frame you think?
Well, you see, right now the temperature is high in Liberia. First thing is the Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with the National Security Advisor, they need to sit down and calm the Liberian people temperature and say, look, the temperature is in the country right now is high, and the Minister of Justice can have her own press conference and say, look, this is what's going on. We're letting the Liberian people, this is what's going on, and we are aware of it, and we'll make, the Minister of Justice can do their own statement. They don't have to go to the national press conference or the press conference. No, they can have their own press conference, and they can also have their own briefing and say, this is what we know, and this is what we have, and we're looking at the Liberian people. Please bear with us. This is what we are doing. I mean, I'm not the word I would use when I make a press conference. I mean, I've got to do legal thing, or I've got to make it simple for people to understand what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that for now, to cool the temperature, let the people have confidence in our government. The Minister of Justice need to come and explain to the people what's going on and to cool the temperature in the country. Right now, the temperature is high. And when the temperature is high, guess what? You back a person across to the wall. When they can't find ways, they will fight back. So right now, it is time for the Minister of Justice to come.
Are you disappointed since they have not come out to tell us anything, give a little bit detailed information to give us the hope that in fact they will come clean of any other information that has not happened? Are you concerned about that?
I'm concerned, but when I say that I'm disappointed, I'm concerned about that because the Ministry of Justice need to come out, or the National Security Advisor with the collaboration of the Ministry of Justice for them to do this thing. That's what I am saying. To advise the president, this is a national security issue. Why make it a national security issue? We got $2.something million that came to the country or that in the country have been disbursed and nobody know where it came from. Who are the facilitators that gave them money, elected money to the representatives?
Do you think the president has been briefed adequately? Do you think the president has been briefed adequately regarding this, all of what is going on?
I hope so. If they not do it, then they are not doing a diligence to the Liberian people. It should be done immediately and brief the president. This is what's going on. The national security should be with the president and brief the president. This is what's going on. This is what are happening. If she or he not do it, and then that's their responsibility. That's their obligation to brief the president. Mr. President, this is what's going on. Or with, like I said, the Minister of Justice and the national security should be able to brief the president on this situation. Or if the Minister of Justice cannot do it, it's a responsibility of the national security to brief the president. This is a high stake. It is a complete concern of the Liberian people. Such a money coming into this country to influence. You see, one of the let's go a little bit farther. I know we're almost run out of time. Let's go a little bit farther. Is influence our democracy that we've been fighting for. Now we have two sitting former president. So it's working. So we need to hold this thing there good and run away where our democracy is working. Don't be afraid. Make a hard decision. I respect the lady or the former Minister of Justice, Christine Dantar, right? That was her name? Yeah. You know, when she didn't agree with the president, she said, you know what, Madam President, thank you for the service in the country. I'm leaving. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia. She left with peace. If you feel that you doing the right thing, if you don't do it, move on.
Okay, Terry.
Yeah, I know Mr. Bacon is doing his best to still protect the government, which we all supposed to do. But as an independent mind and a free thinker, I think our government have disappointed us.
Keto.
I'm listening to them free. I think I could have about 4 weekend on the
No,
show
I
now.
didn't say I'm an independent voice. As I'm a free thinker and I'm independent. And Mr. Sue can attest to it. Even you, Keto, are a king.
Independent, like,
No,
yeah,
I think for Terry being, they don't
Monarch.
like Terry because Terry always speak his mind.
But
No
when
matter
I'm
what.
speaking on the legality of the issue rather than to say, oh, policy. I'm not a policy. I'm not really the party people. I speak on the issues that will affect the interests of the government. That's what I'm talking about.
So with the case of Amin Modad, and I know Amin very well, he was in error, and I think if it was not something that called for investigation or he did not commit a crime, he would not have resigned.
Yeah, but he had a press girlfriend that he said he didn't do wrong. So I'm surprised.
No. You see, resign. You see, we got a moral issue. The moral issue sometimes make you to resign. It's not an issue. Let's look at Gary from Senator because his girlfriend sat on his lap during the campaign. He was running.
Yeah, but that's morality there. That is moral issue. That is ethics.
That's a moral issue. Exactly.
But this one here has nothing to do with girlfriend business. This one is not. This one is the state money. It's the misappropriation of the money, and not only that, the money was given for him to buy cars, more than one car, for the ministry, for his officials, and he chose to buy only one car for himself or for his convenience. That there is a crime.
Can you prove that money given to him to buy the cars or just one?
LRA said they gave 196,000 for cars. To buy cars. All right. And only one car was bought because it had been proven that the car that was bought was the cost of that car is just the amount that was given to him for him to buy cars for the ministry. So will you then say that is not a crime? So again, you rightly put it, Mr. Bacon, that is left up to the investigation.
That we all work different places and we have different. I come in, Mr. Collins. You there, if your office asks you to go get a supply, there are things that you're supposed to buy. You can't substitute. You can't supplement something. Kind of like fill in the gap for something. No, what you're supposed to buy, that's what you're supposed to buy, period. Anything on the contrary, it warrants investigation. The intent, why you didn't do what was requested of you, that's what we are saying. So then,
why did the Unity Party came and said, President, we are build horses. He built the other one, he bought the other thing, the people buying BB cars. They ran on those things. So you ran on those things to say that these were corruption, and corruption is a crime. Unless you want to tell me that corruption is not a crime, and you also want to tell me that that is not corruption. For you to receive, to your ministry to receive 96,000 to buy cars, you chose to buy one. And because you bought the one car, you say, no, they want it's not corruption, it's morality, blah, 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 all of that. I don't want to agree with that because I know that was wrong. And I think the president chose to take an action that he felt was pleasant in his own regard. And I think it's a good action, but it's not sufficient action based upon the mantra that we ran on for him to become president. And the reason why also I say that I'm disappointed in my government that I supported is because for 10 months now, We have not seen one person being going to court and being, persecuted on the basis of the audits, the LACC, the work of the LACC, the work of the
300 audits.
We have not seen nobody being audited, nobody being persecuted for anything. That is why I'm there. As we saw Samuel 12 walking the country, make big show, went on the radio station, blasted the government. As we speak, he remain untouched. The case are looking like it finished. We're hearing different things. They're talking about something. So that is what I'm disappointed on, because we are not seeing our government taking actions to end the culture of impunity. And once you cannot fight the culture of impunity, you will never be able to fight. You will never be successful in fighting corruption. It's not possible. You can't win it. So that is why for 10 months I have sat to observe my government compromise with all of the things they said that they were going to fight against. And based upon that, I am disappointed.
Okay, Terry, not Terry. Keto, let's hear you.
So, Terry, one of the things I know you're disappointed that you have not seen anybody, going through the court proceeding and found guilty and probably put them in jail in the last 10 months and stuff like that. Let me be honest here. When you like Azito always say, you lie away to power, but you can't lie away to govern. You have to govern with fairness and truth, because if you lie, it will show. Now, most of the people, or most of these cases that LRA picked up, or obviously the general auditing people picked up, most of the cases that came out, it was from fair gossip. It was from people saying, oh, this person did it, the person stole it. They did not have sufficient proof. They did not have physical evidence. So that's why you see Samuel will sit down and blast his government and say anything he wants to say and make the government look foolish, because he knows that those people don't have any physical evidence against him to tie him to anything. You understand me? It was just a big charade. It was a big lies you guys are saying around here during the time President Weah was in office. And today, probably the thing will happen is support our government. Instead of we having integrity institutions that would do serious check and balances of government entities, they will not be sitting there. So somebody can say, oh, somebody stole $30 million here for another person. And I will figure out that thing and say, oh, because it's this person. They will not even follow the money, the trail of the money. They will not follow those things. And like Mr. Mark always says, we need experts. Like forensic experts, we need cyber experts. All these people that we need in that country, we need a system where when you take $5, you will sign for it. That money, if they say that money should be used to buy spray gun, it should be used to buy spray gun. The thing you bought it for, there should be a receipt that is traceable. That the time he took the money, the time he bought it, everything is traceable. That's the kind of system we need to be able to get people in, break their corruption. If we don't have that system, it will be difficult. Because if you don't know how to do things, can you imagine there's a new thing now? They say put it there and go take it. They say put it there, they say put it and take it. So they will put it in a certain or account or certain or let's say allotment, and it will go behind and take that money from it. We're all like we're putting in money about it. That's another problem. We have to be honest. That's why I keep telling us that conduct these talk shows, and so we want the best for our country. We cannot put our idea, our support behind those people that we consider they are leaders, because to be honest with you, they ain't got no kind of credibility, no kind of integrity. All of them order to enrich themselves. If you will say, but why he says we President, we are crying. I'll say it because you follow me. If you go on my Twitter, you see that. And I support President, I was just up with the Liberian people. There are certain things that we cannot do it forbidden in our society. We shouldn't do it. We should help to make our people's lives better. But we're not doing it. How is it that somebody can come to office with no money, and by the time they leave office in 3-4 years, they become millionaires? And you're a public servant. Can you imagine that? How is that possible? How is that possible? But yet it's doing very close office from the get-go. Unity Party put a team of fully support Unity Party because they saw that President Weah government was so corrupt. The first thing that Unity Party did when they were not even in power properly, when Griffin, I don't know who instructed him to rent NASCAR to give him almost $500,000 to buy the car. The first thing Unity Party will say, is that boy, I let him go. The man cannot be part of the rescue team because he has challenged the rescue team. The rescue agenda, all the Christians will push against the president we are government that it was so corrupt. We initially office here, let it corrupt the rest of our group. Unfortunately, none of them say anything. None of them. In fact, they set in order, even to the extent where one of the greatest supporters, being so keen, said, I mean, let him resign. Two of them, let him resign. To save face, to save the face of the Unity Party government. The president still keeping him there.
Okay.
So that's so much. That's the thing.
All right. Thank you so much. And we'll try to reinforce our reach out. And I think that's the only frustration because our leaders, in as much we agree and disagree with them, we are not judgmental on this network. We always try to reach out. I hope what his name, the police chief, or even someone from the Ministry of Justice, as we have tried to reach out. I mean, people that are close with the sort of authority to speak on these things here. Hopefully, they can accept our invitation, and that was in the kind of it was set it up too. So, but you know, when you called in, and you asked them, and they choose to speak at their own timing, and that is a concern. I think as leaders, they are answerable to the Liberian people, whether they have different. And I hope to even reach out to my own county representative. Yeah, because some of them we have their platform, the agenda, whatever. They have this sort of exuberant, overloaded agenda. When they come in, when I elected, I will do this, I will do this. They don't tell you how those things will be done. That's the result when the word is deployed without you creating an avenue as to how these things can be done. Then you end up doing something that you shouldn't do first and foremost. So, but hopefully later we will have these critical conversations as time goes by. Walton Keltort, Mr. Jerry Backhunt. I mean, you don't get mad. Why you don't get vexed sometimes?
Who?
You.
Why? Why should I get mad? I was trained not to get mad. So you must maintain courage in the face of danger. So when the dangers come, you're supposed to be kind of collective and be able to deal with the issue. That's my background. You see, the first thing they teach you when you put your phone in the academy, the first thing they teach you is you must maintain courage in the face of danger. So don't get mad. Let my action do the talking. That's what it is. But anyway, here's the thing.
Interesting, we'll see quickly here. I think Front Page is reporting that potential investigation is on the way. Whether a walking Malay coming from Guinea to Sierra Leone, or whether they get, let's say, passed immigration got approve the entry and all of that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, you know, the party supported they have to allow people to allow this process to go on. You know, everybody try to protect their own. Even the assets declaration, all of that. Too much of things, too much.
Look at the asset declaration. Up to now, the president even appointed an ombudsman. I have not heard anything he have done.
Everything's
So I don't know, asset declaration, all those kind of the way we came to power without zeal.
Oh, that's the thing. Government is a very deep system. Yeah. So when you're outside of that bare will, you just think when you go through there, you're going to get a system. They have people that are there who initiate people. Oh man, even though we were talking that yesterday, but you're in the system now, this is how it works. This is how it can be done. Don't mind those people that will talk. Terry then will yell, Alfonso, Jerry then, all of those people, Georgie then will write, they will get tired. Don't mind those people there. Don't worry.
But guess what?
How they orientate you, introduce you to that culture. And when you come from, and usually those kind of conversation, It's not something. I'll tell you, my late brother, he used to work with LPRC, his soul rest in peace, and his the other guy too, the late Malo. You know Malo, who later on went to finance, Tano, when they had a faction or something, he was with LPRC.
Tanu Maulo, eh?
Tano, yeah, it's smart gentleman. One day, one of the hard line about, this whole factional thing, people are only listening to their leader. So my brother said one time when they had a media class, I just know he was at a PST there where they had an operation Barton era there. When they found out he turned wanted to be a obstacle, the man they call you and say, hey, man, you're a young man. You need to start life. You're talking national issue here. They call in a caucus meeting to initiate you. After they went, they wrote what kind of envelope, the kind of thing that make you see it up. You get in a comfortable place, you open it up. The royal man went, say sorry. Next day, Mecca now, everything just, they get people there they will train you from there. If possible, to get their communion there, you will take some communion and then you raise your hand and say, I'm part of this society. So, it is what it is. But, hopefully, yeah, I think we
like
expect
that.
a lot. What we are saying here, we expect a lot from this government.
Right.
So this president served as the number 2 person for how many years? His experience in government, he been in government. And there were things that he altered. And it seems to me things, the train is derailing. And we got to speak to that. I think he can't afford it happening. That's all we are saying. Not that we are against. Nobody want to be. I want my country government. When the government succeed attention, people phone can't rest. By the time you get up, sometimes people want to go off Facebook saying all the WhatsApp, everything now, because there are people that even though, it's everywhere, but now when you talk to typical people, the story is changing. They are saying different things. So, we got to speak to this thing there. But hopefully they will accept our invitation to together. Go ahead quickly, Terry, before we go.
Yeah, so that's what it is. We just hope and pray that the train get back on the railroad and keep on moving. The president just released an executive order, I think executive order 136, Mr. Baco, if I'm not mistaken, for the railroad. So I think it's the fixing the road for the train to get for the rescue train to get back on. But what I want to leave with here tonight is that in battle, in war, in warfare, in anywhere, there are sometimes, like even during the war, Mr. So, we saw LPC joining with MPFL at a certain time in the war against a common enemy. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what I want to say. So, Mr. Kufa, do your due diligence, hustle your way to get back. But the best thing you can do for yourself, if I were you, was to resign. Or else, if you don't die today, you will still die tomorrow.
Why do you want Kofa to resign? Terry, I don't understand.
Huh?
People say he should resign?
Oh, because, Mr. So, if 49 representatives can gang up against you to overthrow you while you are in another country, that means that this thing, and they said they've been doing this thing, they've been planning this thing since June. That means something is under the bridge against you already. There's a plan to remove you. And even if you force yourself, and this is just 10 months in your leadership, if you force yourself to stay there, it's going to get worse.
Okay.
It's going to get very worse. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for this Sunday evening. Mr. Barcon, to your great government. Thank you. Welcome on board with the independent voices who want to let liberal go. Do not allow the liberal to control your movement, your voice. Keto.
Yes, sir, Mr. Did I get you say you welcoming Mr. Barker on board as an independent?
Oh yeah, back on the Luda here publicly. So then let's leave it there. We're gonna be having we're gonna be having a meeting later on. So back on the back on the attending that meeting. So
Welcome.
thank,
You have seen the light.
thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much, Mr. Bakon, Mr. Collins, as always, and to our many viewers and followers. Thank you so much for your time, your patience, and I always being here with us. Gentlemen, have a pleasant evening. Bye bye. Okay, folks, that's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening with the examiner. I'm going to be here. I'm trying to reach out to our lawmakers. Grand lawmakers, the male, female, hopefully they will accept our invitation. We want to know, is it only the money or what else prompted them to sign? But in the meantime, there are a lot of community engagement here this weekend, right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. A group, an organization calling itself Women of Substance will be having their annual dinner ball right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island at the beautiful chandelier rooms of the Armenian Hall, 70 Jefferson Street, Capitol Hill, right here in Providence. Of course, the guest speaker is Mrs. Agnes Dean Babla will be speaking, will be mounted to the podium. It's Women of Substance. That's the president, the CEO, Tuvolinant Mobia. Is the president of Women of Substance, is a wife of State Representative Nathan Bia, formerly the president of the Librarian Community of Rhode Island. That is on Friday. And then on Saturday, LPR will be here. Madam Rose Johnson honoring batch will be held at the Portuguese Club in Cranston at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As we always say here, we are always here to not just on the politics. I think we are on an obligation to engage the community as well, to spotlight what is happening in the community. So LPR will be there to bring you live coverage of the honoring badge of Madam Rose Johnson. That's on the 26th of October, right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. I will be there to going to live stream, and of course, the Women of Substance also to going to be having the program. That is on Friday, so it's going to be a hectic weekend here on coming weekend. So no matter where you are, right here on planet Earth, if you have any events and you think that we can, be part of it, let us know. Give us enough time to let us know. If there's no way, we will always figure out to find a way to give it. This is not just only for politicians. You are the reason for which we are here. So any memorable event you want us to form part, LPR is willing to capture that and bring it live before your very eyes. Until then, folks, every good thing must come to an end. I want to thank you for sharing your beautiful Sunday evening with us right here on the Diaspora Informative News Magazine. That's the Examiner. We're going to be having it here every Sunday and sporadic once we get people here to discuss an issue. So we're going to be having that as well. So until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. And by God's willing, I will see you when I see you again. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Bye-bye. Let me see here. I'm not sure whether George, are you talking to me to inbox you, or I'm so could you please send me your number? Okay, definitely I will do it. But the number here, let me just put the number out here. Just take this number. You can call me on this number here, 682-433-8802. You can get me as well, but I can also search you on Facebook, or you can tentatively take that number and we can share notes anytime this evening, anytime you're ready. And doesn't get angry. No, that's I agree with. Jerry background doesn't get angry. You can call him anytime, try to go under his skin to hit him hard, but he's always contained, and that's how it should be. Like, we've got to test the temperament of these people who know. I won't be surprised Jerry background they will call him. He isn't ready to go here, so we need to start testing him here before you start getting there when you get there. All right, so hey, George, that's the number, that's 682-433-8802. And we can share notes. I'll be glad if you did. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get a roll.
Hello everyone, my name is Foye, aka Diamond. I would like to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me. My mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women